Hey, good afternoon. Good afternoon. This is Chief T. It is after 3, and yeah, like the caption read, I'm drained. I'm drained. I'm drained, man. Oh, let me get over here. I'm drained. It's Friday. I'm supposed to be home already. I got a business partner that's about to kick off their launch party today, start her business off, but man, yeah, they got the best out of Chief T today, boy. But it is Chief T. It is after 3. I'm still happy. I'm still blessed to see another day, to be amongst the land of the living. So it's always good. It's always good. God is good. Today is good. It's a beautiful day. It's another great day. So look, for those that don't know, I've been challenged by one of my mentors to go 26 days straight live, talking about the ABCs as it pertains to money. And so today is day 25. Today is day 25. And man, this has been a long journey. If you have not, tuned in, I guarantee you'll get a lot of nuggets out of the information we passed and stated over the last 26 days. So, hey, airmen, sailors, Marines, all of my DOD employees, all of my vets and active duty personnel, National Guard, Reserve. Hey, today's letter is going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. And so let's get this party started. Today I want to talk about your why. Yeah, today's letter is why, but I want to talk about your why. See, I'm not talking about the WHY. I'm talking about that YOU. You. Let's slow it down for a minute. Yeah, I want to talk about you. See, I think that's the most important. You are the most important thing or person in the world. You are the most important aspect or being that you should work on and think about when we're talking about the letter Y. See, you only get one life to live. You can't live somebody else's. You can't live through your kids. You can't live the life that your parents wanted you to live. You got to live your life, and most of us don't understand that. In the military, we try to live through our leadership, our NCOs. We try to do what they tell us to do when I was coming up. Or you try to live through that officer that basically, idolizes you, that you idolize or something like that. But you can't do that. You got to live the life that you were destined to live. You got to live the life that you were destined to live. I had to say it twice. The life that you live will determine the life that you live. And if you try to live out somebody else's life, you won't appreciate it. You will go back looking at yourself and say, man, what did I do with my life? You got to understand that your life holds value. And most of us don't think about that. We just think we let life live us rather than us live the life that we were supposed to live. And that's just not good. Yesterday is gone. That's another why. But today we have full capabilities and opportunities to live the life that we want to live. I always live by a mantra that says life is what you make it. But you got to make it so. Too many times I hear soldiers and people say, if I wasn't in this unit, I'd be able to do this. If so many people wasn't doing this, I'd be able to do that. But you got to understand this. Your life is what you make it. A lot of people talk about the leadership and how they can't do this and do that. Well, you allow leaders to do what they do. Yeah, there's consequences for what you do or what you say to your leaders. But at the end of the day, it's your voice. And I've always been somebody that says your voice needs to be heard. It's your voice. Who are you to silence my voice? There's a tactful way to do things. But at the end of the day, if you don't voice your opinion, that's your fault. You got to understand that. You cannot place blame on someone else for your lack of understanding and your lack of having value in yourself. We're all kings and queens on this earth. You know what I'm saying? But you have to be the one to own on that. Even in this uniform, I'm still a man. I'm still a father. I'm still a husband. So if you can't respect me as a human being first, then we got a problem. And I'm not ashamed to say that, because at the end of the day, after your 20 years, your 30 years, no one cares about this right here. Nobody. And if they do, they just don't understand. At the end of the day, Hey, you did 34 years. Thank you, Sergeant Major. I got a business partner, Sergeant Major Derek Ray, retired. Yeah, but thank you. But at the end of the day, them civilians out here in these streets, there's too many of them. We make up 1% of the nation. You think all these people care about what you did in the military? Half the people don't even care about what you did at your last job. Think about this. I said this previously in our 25 days so far. I said, your job, think of yourself as at your job, right? Take a pitcher of water, right? A pitcher full of water. Put your finger in it and pull it out. That's how easy you are to replace. If you're that easy to replace, you think people really care? No, but you have to be that X factor. We talked about that yesterday. You have to be the X factor to say, when you're gone, they're like, whoa, yes, something has changed. The whole environment has changed. When I leave this office, when I leave this shop, yeah, a lot of people going to say, dang, there's a lot of different. It may be good. It may be bad. People may not like the way I do things, but I guarantee you, I love the way I do things because I do it the way I like to do it. And I try to incorporate other people, but you matter. Do you value yourself? See, most people don't value themselves. They value the opinions of others more so than themselves. You know, it feels good to get a pat on the back, but if you don't love yourself, if you don't like yourself, then what good is that pat on the back? Because at the end of the day, you go to your room, you go to your dorm, you go to your bunk, your hooch, wherever you go, and you soak in lack of value for your own self. See, you can talk about finances all day, but if you don't value yourself, the money does nothing for you. It's just a facade. It's a mask. We can't hide behind the money and say we're living good. Most wealthy people, struggle with something if they don't have that emotional connection with people. If they don't have that emotional connection with their family members, their friends, or things of that nature. Most wealthy people, believe it or not, have a lot of wealthy people, not say most, a lot of wealthy people have committed suicide because they don't yield to understand why they're void in some areas. So you got to understand that if you don't know where you have a void in your life, it's always going to be a hole that you're trying to fill up. But until you get to examine yourself, like we talked about the other day, and really understand what you need in life, and you already know where I'm going to go with what you need in life. It's not money, but I guarantee you he owns a cattle on 1,000 hills and he can bless you with a whole lot of it. But I digress. You got to have value in yourself. You got to yearn for something more than what you've already had. Most people don't have a desire to increase and to scale because they don't have a yearning desire inside of themselves. If you're complacent with what you have, you will never amount to anything great or worthy. We all can't be Martin Luther King. We all can't be Harriet Tubman. We all can't be Ronald Reagan or anything like that. But we can be the best version of ourselves and add value to society because we have value within our own selves. I would like to see your value shine like diamonds in the sky. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if that was a song or not. But think about it. A diamond shines bright, but when you put it in the sky along with the sunbeams and the rays of God's creation in heaven, man, what a beautiful sight. I think we all should be diamonds in the sky because that's a beautiful sight to see. And I love sunsets and sunrises. But hey, yesterday is gone. I heard another business partner talk about yesterday. Your yesterdays are all gone. So whatever I did in the past, it means absolutely nothing. I'm a warrant officer now. I lived a great life as a non-commissioned officer for 15, 16 plus years, right? NCO of the year, Sergeant Artie Murphy Club. I still active duty Sergeant Artie Murphy member, but I that's in the past. What am I doing now? None of that stuff matters. What are we doing today? Now today, saving millions of dollars for the nation's army. That's what I'm doing. You got to think about that. When people go online, back in the day, we didn't used to Google. We used to go on Yahoo, and look up stuff. Yeah, that used to be the number one search engine right there, Yahoo. We would look up stuff. What would people look up for you today? If they was to put your name in a search bar on Yahoo, what would come up? You know what I'm saying? You can't think about the year 2022 like you thought about 2021. This is not, back in the 90s where they had, Yogi Bear was the biggest popular, little thing that we used to talk about over the picnics and stuff like that. What are they going to talk about when you're out there camping and you're out there having fun, you're doing bonfires years down the road? What people going to talk about your name? What are they going to say? When you're in that casket and you're dead and gone, what are people going to say about you? That's what I live for. See, I used to live for my children. I used to live for my wife, but going back and forth, kind of like a yo-yo, I didn't understand why I wasn't fulfilled by putting them first as far as my why. I couldn't understand that, doing yoga, doing, exercises, it didn't help me. But when I focused on actually me, valuing me and just challenging myself, everything just exploded. Everything. My why is no longer my WHY is no longer, I want to do this for my kids. I want to do it no, I want to do that junk for me. I'm still young, but I want to do it for me. I got years ahead of me, but I also have years behind me. I'm 37 years old, years young, but at the same time, there's a lot more in me that I want to do for me. And yes, my kids, my family are going to be taken care of. But if you're doing it for anybody else other than you, then you're doing it in a fallacy. Because at the end of the day, my children won't honor and respect what I've done because they didn't have to go through that. They didn't have to do any of that. You go bless somebody with $1 million today, 10 years down the road, generations down the road, they won't have that money because they didn't work for it. They didn't work for it. Think about it. Do your research. I'm not finna. You want some good research? Go see my boy James Turner, JT, what we call him, or Nico Coley. They know how to do that research. I don't do that. I don't do that. I like to have fun, but I don't do that side. I let them take care of that. I do the fun side. We mix it up. We make a nice little salad out of it. But do the research. A lot of people, when they go back and look over the history, of rich families that, develop and things of that nature, most people don't carry that down and down and down. Think about your family. You probably have some wealthy people in your family when you was growing up, that had some and then they lost some. And then at one generation, you ended up with a poor stream. And now you're going back and building that family legacy that you wanted to have. You got to have a mindset to do that. You got to think about yourself. You can have youthful wishes, but at the end of the day, when you grow up, you got to actually accomplish your goals. See, wishes are just things that don't have a date on it. Things you want to see accomplished without a date, but goals have a date. Goals have a plan. You don't necessarily need to know how, but if you have a why and a what, you definitely, the how, the universe will generate it for you. And we talked about that in our you. But hey, excuse me. I just want to say it's good talking to y'all. We have one more day, of youthful conversation. And all I want you to do is say yes to yourself. You got to understand that you are the most important investment that you could ever invest in. You. As parents, we got to take care of our children. But at the end of the day, if you're not taken care of, you're just not taken care of. As a soldier, our women, our female soldiers, man, they do a lot, especially the moms, because think about this. They come to work every day, have to deal with children every day, soldiers, every day deal with their issues, deal with leaders and supervisors, deal with the whole woman stigma, female stigma being in the military. And then they got to go home for the most part and be mommy, be wife. All of that wrapped up into loving themselves, feeling good about themselves. So ladies, it's enough to be on that side of the world. That side of the spectrum. And then you top on military lifestyle. So my hat goes off to all of the female soldiers in the military and, across all branches, and definitely to the moms, because, man, y'all do a lot. So I say value yourself. Realize the real value you have in you and understand that is enough. That is enough why. You don't need to go outsource and look externally for your why. Your why is in you. Y-O-U. One of my business partners said this is the year of transformation. You got to yield to the increase. Man, you got to yield to the increase. That's huge because, I believe that we're supposed to be blessed beyond measure. But if you don't open your arms up, how can you receive? How can you receive? If your hands are fist tight or in your pockets, or you're not in a place to where you can receive, even if it is an overflow, you can't even benefit from the raindrops, But he wants to shower down you on blessings this year of transformation. You know, really, Monica, we want to talk about some yams. Well, let's talk about some yams. If you was a farmer and you planted some yams, you would expect more yams to produce than just a few that you planted. You know, potatoes, you got to actually put them in the ground, bury them, and then they produce more yams, more potatoes. So you got to actually bury it. Most people don't want to be buried. But when you get buried, you get isolated. And then the rain comes down, you get trampled on, and then you start to grow. Oftentimes we mistake the rough times in our lives for periods of solitude and abandonment. But really, those are times where God is really showing us that he's all you need to develop. So yes, y'all have a beautiful day. You have a great day. Chief T, after 3. Peace.